Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, June 25th, 2021, and the U.S. stock market is closed. You're looking at the Dow here. Dow had another good day today, a second big up day in a row, closing up 237 points. Very steady here. Our equity was not that steady. I'd say we had a pretty good day, but very frustrating and very Friday-ish. Yes, Friday-ish. I'll make that a new word. I call it Freaky Friday for a reason, and I will discuss that in a second. We had 17 positions coming in, and yesterday on the 17 positions, we only had $587 positive in open trade. And of course, that always makes me kind of nervous. Well, we ended up closing those out with positive $355. So, basically we got out of them what we had in open trade equity yesterday. And you might think, well, then that was just kind of a non-event. But the problem is I am an insomniac, and I made the mistake of getting up at 1 a.m. this morning and watching the pre-market for about an hour. And in the pre-market, these positions were up, around $10,000. It looked like really good. And I've done this so many times that I've decided, it's almost like if the stocks are up in the pre-market, it's almost a bad omen, because they just inevitably sell those. And from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., 4 hours my time, I can't even trade the pre-market. Now, I shouldn't trade the pre-market anyway, but it's frustrating to be sitting there watching that action, knowing that it's only the hedge fund managers that are able to play around with this, and they're probably taking profits on these positions. And then by the time it opened at 5 a.m., those positions were down quite a bit, and then they just really pushed them down until the time we got out. So like I say, we ended up getting out with positive $355. That was kind of a disappointment. The next disappointment. We got into 10 positions. Only 3 were positive. 7 were negative. But with 4 hours to go, and this is going to be on my website, I took a screenshot of it, but I'd rather 4 hours in, we were up $25,000 on these 10 positions, and that looked really good. And it had held above 20,000 for the first 4 hours of the day. I mean, it just looked very stable, good positions. And then they started pushing it down, just like they pushed the stocks down in the pre-market. And by the time we got out, we had, not when we got out, but the time the stocks closed, the market closed, we were down to 10,000. So we saw 25,000 pushed down to 10,000 in the last 2.5 hours of the day. So it's just, that's frustrating. It's very frustrating. But regardless, we still ended up closing out $355 positive and carrying positive over $10,000 over the weekend. So on paper, at least, yeah, we had a decent day. I'm going to show you 3 stocks to illustrate some of the difficulties we had and some of the good things it had. This first one I'm showing you is ATOS, which is ATOS Therapeutics Incorporated. We had bought this yesterday on the pop, pretty much closed where we got into it, but big push up this morning, and we exited right there and took $5,600 out of ATOS Therapeutics, and then it kept moving. We get re-entered up here, and then after we're re-entered, the push down starts. They push it down, and so on the close we are carrying open trade negative 4.9 thousand. So we make 5.6 thousand on the exit, and we're carrying negative 4.9 thousand over the weekend. Not a real great way to make money, I would say. Very frustrating. And that was the story of today. Here's another one. This I am showing you EXPR, which is Express Incorporated. And we bought this thing right out of the gate this morning, and it just screamed. And up here on top, we're up $20,000 in Express Incorporated. But then, like everything else, the last 2-3 hours, they're coming in and selling it and shorting it and everything else. So we see $20,000 go to $9,000. Over half of those open trade profits are, trimmed away in the last 3 hours of the day. So, yeah, 9,000 is good, but 20,000 would be a whole lot better. And again, we're suffering this pushback that it just drives me crazy some days. And keep in mind, it's Friday, and I should never expect too much out of trading on Friday. Stuff like this always happens. Friday is never a good day, even when we make money, it seems like. Anyway, I have one stock that behaved itself, so I'll show you that. And this is SPCE, which is Virgin Galactic Holdings Incorporated. And yesterday this thing gapped up, and we buy the gaps. We never held any loss to this thing at all. It took off, then it leveled off, and it actually made a new high the last hour of the day and closed pretty close to the high today. And we're up $13,700 open trade in Virgin Galactic Holdings. This is the way we want trades to go, okay? Unfortunately, it was the only one that went that way, but it was our biggest trade, and $13,700 is nothing to sneeze at, and that's why we're carrying over $10,000 total in our open trade over the weekend, even though we only have 3 winning positions out of 10. So that's just great. Anyway, hey, listen, you guys have a great weekend, and this is Trader Bob signing off, and I will be back here on Monday trading as usual.